greetings and salutations. Welcome to Good Deeds Real Estate with a Mission. And we're going to talk a little bit about the national numbers and the chief economist, Lawrence Yun, the chief economist from the National Association of Realtors. He brings good news in a report out today that predicts that home sales are going to rise in units, closed units, 15% next year. Now, what you really need to understand is through October, which is where we have the numbers, we don't have the November numbers yet, home sales were down almost 15% year over year, 2023 over 2022. So he's predicting a rebound, not quite equal, obviously, because if something's down by 15 and then you take that new number and increase it by 15, you don't go back to where you were quite yet. Here's what I believe. I think this is good news for us nonetheless. Home sales are down in New Hampshire, approximately in units, 21.5%. And prices are decent because there isn't enough inventory on the market. So I feel like this is good news for us because a rebound elsewhere bodes well for us as well. A rising tide lifts all boats, as they say. Part of the reason he's predicting this is because he believes that rates are going to get somewhere between 6 and 7%. Now, before you start pining for the 6% mortgage that you just heard and not 7, realize that we're not going to get to 6 before we get to 7, and I don't know if we will get into the sixes, low sixes anyway, next year. It's possible. But keep in mind, the Fed is going to unwind the credit tightening more slowly than they tighten things down. And I think, barring some cataclysmic event, they are going to unwind on a much more slow basis. So I think that's good for us again, because I think that might, while prices may stop escalating in New Hampshire, I don't see a de-escalation of prices at this point, which means they're just going to kind of hang on there. But you got to realize if inflation is going up 3-4% a year and prices no longer are going up, your home is actually worth less, even though it feels like it stayed the same, if I'm making sense. So that's the report for today. Now, I want to share with you, if you are thinking of selling your home, now is the time, even though it's December and we're not even into the holiday season yet. It is really an opportunistic market, meaning if you have your property on the market in January, I believe that's a good thing. Even if you're thinking about it now and you could be ready now, you could possibly put it under agreement with a buyer during the holiday season and move sometime in the future, depending on the buyer's needs and your willingness to sell, close on the property and then stay in possession of it. So I hope that's a lot of information very quickly, but I think it's good news for property owners and for buyers. Here's what we know. If you can find the property that looks good for you today, we know how unique real estate is, especially the properties we live in. If you can find the home that looks good for you today and buy it, you're locking in your expenses for that home ownership for some time to come, and certainly with a fixed rate mortgage. And should the rates go down, because I wouldn't just buy into this that they're going to go down, but should they go down, we think they will, you can refinance if it makes good sense to you then. So I hope this is helpful. I want to wish you happy holidays. And our podcasts are going to continue, but if you're seeing this and you're not sure you're going to see the next one soon, happy holidays to you. Thanks for tuning into Real Estate with a Mission. Good Deeds is the name of it. And please be sure to watch it on one of your favorite podcast platforms or subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.